Welcome back, you guys. So we're gonna do something a little bit out of the ordinary today. This is going to be a plant spotlight video featuring our Epipremnum Pinnatum marble. Someone from the comment section actually requested this video. She asked me to highlight these plants on one of my videos. So here we go. So Epipremnum Pinnatum marble is endemic in the island of Palawan. This variety of Epipremnum is fairly new in the market, I would say. It came out, I think, a little over a year ago. There was a hype for this plant. And I remember one of my friends showed me a photo of this probably close to 2 years now. And he didn't see the plant itself. He was just shown a photo of the plant because he was hunting a variety of Epipremnum Pinnatum, and he saw the photo and he showed it to me asking what the variety was. So it looked like this. If I still have the photo, I'm gonna flash it on the screen. We were wondering what it was, and then like a few months later we started seeing this plant on Instagram, and it was really expensive. Like, people were selling a pot of these for 100,000 or so. I did sell a few of these, and I heard a lot of people from my city actually made a lot of money selling these plants and built a house and bought a car. Good for them. What's interesting about this plant is that even though it has almost white leaves all over, if you cut it and propagate it, you could actually grow another plant. But since this is a mutation, it would not necessarily push out an all white leaf like this. Sometimes it would have a leaf like this or this. However, if you have a cutting that has a green leaf, say this one, it could also push out an all white leaf. So this is quite random. It's not like a monstera where if the mother plant of the cutting has high variegation, the cutting would most probably have a highly variegated leaf. This is not the case for this plant. This is just my observation. However, even though they have almost all white leaves, they don't brown unless you neglect them. They stay pristine like that. It would take a lot for them to turn brown. So if you neglect them and don't water them for a week and they're already dry, then they would for sure lose some of their leaves, the bottom leaves. Like all Epipremnum pinnatums, they start with their leaves like this, and then when you stake them up, they would start splitting. And if they are not happy, like this one, it had 2 splits and then it pushed out a leaf with 1 split, but then it just started growing because I repotted it. So it would push out like a creamy leaf. Once the leaf matures, it would fade into white, like what happened with these leaves. We had to reinforce this moss bowl with a PVC pipe, and the PVC pipe is facing you guys because this is on the shelf and it's following the sun, so all the leaves are facing the back. So I thought it's not polite to show you the back of the leaves. Anyway, as for the potting mix, I I'm also using my general soilless aroid mix for these plants. They're not really finicky. I have a friend who is just using soil and cocoa peat for his medium, and they're fine. They're very interesting. So I can understand why a lot of people are collecting Epipremnum Pinnatum. This is my favorite among all of them because this is the most matured one. It had a pole before that was smaller, and it just started growing out of the pole like it was reaching for something else. So I had to take the pole out and then replace it with a bigger pole, so the leaves are smaller on the top, but these are bigger and they need to be watered. We have not watered yet. These plants are not finicky. You just pretty much stick them in your potting mix and they would grow. They have a very invasive root system, so you may have to repot every 6 months. If you don't, you would be fine, but you would notice that the leaves would start yellowing at the bottom, and then they would just push out smaller leaves. And just like most aroids, I pretty much water them once a week. When it's summertime, we water them at least twice a week. Once they are more matured, you can put more water retentive medium, so they don't have to be watered more frequently. Shout out to Ken Tua, who is always commenting in every single video that I put up here on YouTube. So he asked me about the holes in my pot, and I was trying to explain it to him that my husband used this drill to drill holes in the pots wherever I want them. And he actually told me that it's easier to use a step bit like this, because you start small and then as it goes through it becomes bigger and bigger. You can use any drill bit size you want. I just prefer this size. When my husband wasn't here yet, I was using this soldering iron. So you pretty much just plug it in, wait for it to heat up, poke the pot with it, and then you get those holes. They're not as aesthetically pleasing as these holes. They're sometimes messy and uneven, so I haven't used this to make holes in my pots anymore since my husband came. The soldering iron is probably the cheapest way to go, because this is only like $2 to $3 in your local hardware store, but it just makes the job easier when you have a drill. It's cleaner, and you can ask someone else to do it for you, like me. Hey, thanks for watching. As always, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more, and I'll see you on the next one. I upload a variety of videos on my Facebook Reels every day, so don't forget to follow me there as well.